In this video, we'll be looking at fixes for 3 common issues with the Eachine EX4. Those are faulty gimbal, GPS/flyaways, and toilet bowling. What is going on, you guys? I have now had this Eachine 4 for just over a year. In fact, the clip you saw at the beginning of this video was from that year-old drone. Now, today I'm going to be talking about some quick tips that can potentially help fix 3 of the most common issues people have with this drone. The first thing I'm going to talk about is faulty gimbal, okay? Hopefully we can get your video from looking like this to more like this. Second thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is the GPS/flyway issues that people have. I've actually got 4 different things to check for. We'll go through them very quickly. Third, we're going to talk about toilet bowling, right? When this thing starts doing like that, that's another common issue that I've actually got something that helps me, and I'll show you what that is. So let's get started. Gimbal issues with the EX4 seem to be super common. I see a lot of videos showing the problem. I've never seen anyone show you what I'm about to right now, but it has helped me. It's actually allowed me to use this drone after about 3 or 4 months of it on the shelf, having given up, basically. I got so frustrated, I put it away, brought it back out, and figured this out. So let me boot this one up right here. I've got the drone and I've got the controller right here, and let me boot them up. And as they do, guys, what I'm talking about is this gimbal, I'm just going to let it run, but at some point here, it's going to do a self-check. And it's going to start shaking around, looking. And then it's just going to keep doing that back and forth for a while, and then basically give up. Okay, it gave up. So, you know, I've got my controller here now. If I move the wheel up and down, just confirming, I can't see, I got the camera there. If I move that wheel up and down, we have no control over the camera. And if I pick this drone up, watch how the camera shakes. All right, so at this point, you know, that camera's loose. Now, I do have footage feeding to my phone. If you have the issue where there's no footage from your drone coming to the phone, that's a separate issue. I'm not going to address it in this video, but put a comment in or shoot me a note, and I can help you with that as well. Now, right now, I can fly the drone. I can wait for GPS, go through all that, but the footage is going to look like this. Check it out. Well, that video sucks, right? That's not why you paid for a gimbal. So I've powered everything down. Let me boot the drone back up. This time, I'm going to show you the fix that works for me. It's pretty simple. Hopefully it works for you. Now, the first thing you're going to do is take that gimbal and make sure it's not skewed to the side or up or down. Make sure it's facing directly forward. Then the next step is I'm going to boot this thing up. What I found is when this camera is moving around, it's checking for clearance on that gimbal. It's almost like there may be sensors in there or something. And if it doesn't seem to have the right clearance, it doesn't boot the gimbal up. The drone can still fly, but you saw what the video looks like. What I found, and sometimes, guys, I'm not easy. Sometimes it's a little rough, but when that boots up, I'm going to let it go through its first initial boot up. And then when it gets stuck looking for the sensors it's confirming, I'm going to, with my finger, knock it into that direction slightly. And if I'm successful, it'll go beep. And then all of a sudden that gimbal is going to be steady. So it doesn't work every single time, guys. Sometimes it takes me 1 or 2 tries to get it going, but let's try it out. Here we go. Bam! First try, man. That was easy. I actually almost missed it. So it must have immediately started cycling. I walked around. I saw that it was stuck going left and right. So I just knocked it left. Boom. Let's check the gimbal. Watch this. So smooth. Now I can take this thing off and fly, and the video is going to be just like this. Okay, gimbal problem fixed. Let me know if that works for you guys. I'd love to see a comment. If this helps, let me know. I've never seen anyone show that. When I figured it out, I was super excited. So, oh, also guys, sometimes it's the down one. I've had to push it down before, but it seems to be checking for clearance and then it works. Moving on. GPS problems and flyaways. Something I've experienced a couple times, but I now know how to fix it. So early on, guys, I would take the drone off. 2 times this happened. I just took it off and whoo, it took off on me. I mean, I couldn't control it. I had no say in what it did, and it flew way over and we thankfully crashed in a field, damaged propellers. I had to replace them. Couldn't figure this out for a long time, and there's no good literature. There's no good manual. It doesn't tell you this stuff anywhere in there. So first thing I'm going to go through, a couple tips, really 4 tips. First is you have to have GPS enabled on your phone. I've seen this a couple times actually where people couldn't even get it to show up. You've got to have that GPS enabled on your phone or else the drone is not going to be able to see it. So whatever phone you're using, you need to go into settings, make sure that GPS overall is enabled. Next, after you confirm that GPS is enabled on the phone, you need to make sure the app has GPS access as well as data. So you need to go to your phone, go to your settings, and then scroll down right here till you see the apps and find the app you use. For me, it's Enjoy Fly to fly this drone. I know there's a few different versions of apps. I downloaded this one a long time ago. I've heard it's changed. I have a link in, actually, I'll put a link in the description here with where I know to get it now. So if you look here now, location, if I click here, I have it selected for while using app. It needs to be allowed when you're using the app, guys. When you first boot up the app, it's going to ask you one of those generic questions. It says, Enjoy Fly would like access to your phone's data. And sometimes people just default hit no, right? And then it'll never ask you again, but you will not connect to the drone unless you've come in and allowed data with the app as well as GPS. Next, when you go to the app and you boot the app up and join, I'll show you a clip here in a second, it's going to take a little bit for the phone and the drone to connect, okay? You can have had this drone flying, you can have it up in the air, land it, go out of the app, go back in the app, and you need to make sure that it looks right on the map. So let me show you what I mean. So let me play this right now. Let's see here. I'm going to push play. All right, so this is me booting up the app, and I just literally turned the app off, turned it back on. Now look at the map on the bottom left, guys. Look what's happening. It showed me way far away, and it's just now getting close. Okay. Perfect. So, in fact, you can see if you look in the top right there, the 13 satellites connected. That's great satellite connection. However, because I got out of the app, went back in it, it showed my phone for some reason 100, 200 yards away. What I figured out is when I crashed that drone, and you saw the footage of it, man, I was doing other stuff. I had the drone flying. I knew I was connected to satellites. I looked good there, but I had gone out of it to do something, maybe do a video or something. I went back into the app, hit auto takeoff to fly, and my drone went trying to find my phone. So heads up, make sure that those are connected. All right, and then the last step, I'll jump back in here. If you look at the top there, that 13 satellites, guys, the EX4, for me at least, takes a long time to connect to satellites. It can take 5, 6, 7 minutes once I have everything connected and configured before it actually connects. So you've got to have a minimum of 9. Okay, do not take off. Do not do anything until 9 satellites minimum are connected. If you do not do that, auto return doesn't work. GPS is not going to be really functioning the way you need it to. It's going to be real bad. And nowhere in the damn booklet does it tell you, nowhere on the website does it tell you that, but you've got to have at least 9. Sometimes you'll get 13, 15, that's great. But once you get 9, then you can take off and know that auto return works and that all the functionality should be good to go. All right, the last thing I'm going to show you guys is what I've figured out for toilet bowling. Now, toilet bowling, you know, when it starts doing this, I've had issues where I took the drone up, took hands off the controls, and just watched it get worse, 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 and bigger. Oh, hit the mic, sorry. And that's a problem, right? So I found a pretty simple solution for it. in fact, I didn't even take video footage of it, but I will. I'll actually go out back real quick and splice some footage in. But when I take off, I need to make sure there's no blacktop below me. There's a lot of interference, it seems like, from blacktop. Grass, dirt, fields works much better. When I first take off, this thing is not very steady for me. So I've had to fight it for a while and I'll get it steady. But I noticed over time it got better. And for the last half of that battery, it was steady as could be. Now, when I take this thing up, I get it to a safe area. But the first thing I do is a full 360 left joystick, left or right, doesn't matter. But I do a full 360 spin. And it might be toilet bowling while I do it. But that right there seems to click it in, and then I can just take right off. So I'll try to get some clips. In fact, yeah, I'll get some clips of that too and throw it in. Sorry guys, I live in restricted airspace. When I stepped out back to fly the drone, my LANC request was denied. Not common. So those are the cures or the fixes that I had, guys, for 3 very common issues on the Eachine EX4. If this video helped you at all, if you were able to maybe use a drone you didn't think you were going to be able to, like I say, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know if it works. Let me know if it doesn't work. There may be some other stuff I know as well. So guys, that's all I had. I wanted to show you these fixes. Have a great day. Bye.
I'm just stuck here in a dream. Long, long, long. I'm just stuck here in a dream.